How's it going, TCG Pocket fans? It's PJ here, back with a new year. Do you hate Celebi EX just as much as I do? Well, great. We're going to be playing this awesome card, Jynx, which is effectively a bad card in other decks, but a great card now because Celebi EX is running amok all over the TCG Pocket ladder. Because Superior is multiplying energy onto the Celebi, we get to use Psychic on Jynx to just do crazy amounts of damage to it. I'm going to show you the full list here in just a second, as well as some gameplay on the ladder. Make sure you're hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel for more. Now let's hop over into the rest of this video. So as you can see, this deck uses all kinds of meta tricks to get energy into the field, but at its core, it is a consistent deck that relies on Jynx. Now, Jynx's Psychic attack can do damage to more decks than just Celebi. We see decks out there like Charizard EX, we've got Blastoise coming into play here. We even see Pikachu coming back into Resurgence, and it can just tap those things for enough damage to get you by with single point Pokemon, and that's exactly what this deck aims to do. We want to set up our Gardevoir for Psy Shadow so we can plant energy. We want to be able to retreat back and forth, so we put in some X speeds here. I do have Research for some draw. We have Sabrina, so our opponent can't block with their Pokemon. So there's so many tricks in here. Mew EX is also one of the MVPs of this deck. It's been so great. Genome hacking is such a great attack, and we see that in so many other decks as well. But using the combination of all of these other pieces and having a heavy line of Jynx is really what gets our deck rolling. So we're going to show you how this deck works in some ladder games here, and we're playing in the Emblem Challenge, so it's a lot of other people competing, so you can get that competitive aspect too while having some fun with a semi-meme deck with this meme card Jynx. Alright, we do have another opponent here, so we're going to be able to play again and see if our Jynx tech is actually what is going to take us over the edge, get us to that next win. We're just trying to really complete this Emblem Challenge that they have going on right now. So we want to do not solo battles, we want to do the battle here. So we're playing against another Celebi EX deck. Now Celebi obviously is great. Powerful Bloom, we know, is an insanely effective attack here. Even though you're flipping coins, you're still doing massive amounts of damage. But we're playing a meme-ish deck, right? It's got the core of a meta deck. We see so many cards here. So we've got the Ralts coming down. We do have Mewtwo EX in hand. I'm not exactly sure if I want to use it just yet, but maybe we should. Yeah, let's just add it in here just to have a good effective attacker that can eventually one-shot. We don't have the rest of our Gardevoir pieces. We really have to work on that. And we also don't have a Jynx in play. So that's something else that we do have to focus on getting. We are going to have to research again here. So we want to make sure that we can research and do what we're supposed to do with this deck. They're getting set up with their Powerful Bloom over there. They're adding energy onto the board. We get our Gardevoir. We don't have our Kirlia though, so let's try to research into it, hopefully, fingers crossed here. So we get a Sabrina. Hey, look at that. We get our Kirlia. We're going to attach that here. Move that over, and we're just going to tap this thing with Psy Shot, get that Celebi EX HP down to 110, even though it doesn't matter, but maybe that's one less coin flip that we're going to have to do with Genome hacking into the Powerful Bloom. Our opponent's starting to draw some cards. They don't have a Snivy down. They're not going to be able to get their Superior online fast enough, so that means that we can definitely capitalize on our side. So we have to look at what's in our hand here. Again, we don't have any more draw cards. We don't have any other Pokemon. We don't have our Jynx. We do need a Pokeball to find it, or just raw draw it. There's their second Celebi EX, which we kind of planned on. In my mind, I'm thinking I'm definitely going to see a second Celebi this game. So here we go. They're going to Powerful Bloom the first time, do 2 flips here. Let's see what they come up with. See if they land both heads and do 100 damage. So, 1 tails, double tails. Okay, let's go. The RNG is in our favor. They do 0 damage, which is really, really good. Okay, here's our Jynx. We did raw draw it. That's great. And we do have a Gardevoir. So, the more energy they get on this thing, the better it's going to be. And I think that just because we have an XP share in hand, Okay, let's add this Giovanni. Because we have the XP share in hand, we can't always retreat. Let's try to genome hacking, flip at least 2 heads, and we can knock this thing out. So it's good that we use Psy Shot on it beforehand. I was just trying to think and move pieces all at the same time here. So we did, unfortunately, only get the 1 head. But as you can see, the math was mathing, right? We only needed 1 more heads to take a knockout on here. So we are going to have to pump the brakes a little bit. But when they see this Jynx come down, they're not happy, right? They don't want to get hit with this Jynx. They're going to try to evolve their superior. They can potentially one-shot my Mew here if they flip all 3 heads, and pending the RNG in this matchup, we definitely want to see if they're going to do anything. Okay, so let's see. We do have to make the choice here. Let's put the Mewtwo EX into the active spot because we can technically retreat it with just the X speed in our hand and also using Gardevoir to attach energy to it. They're going to try to flip into this thing. Again, all 3 heads is just going to straight up knock us out here. And there we go. They're not going to knock us out. Wow. Their luck is, it's not working. So they're going to do effectively 0 damage. We don't even need to use this potion that we just drew. So we're going to go ahead and Psy Shadow. Let's put the energy on top here. I'm going to add 1 more energy to our Mew EX, and then let's X speed this thing out of the active spot. We get to flip 4 times now. And even if this Mew EX goes down, maybe they get their superior online next turn, because they can do that. And then they will have 4 flips to hit us and knock us out. We flipped 4 heads. That's crazy. Genome hacking 200 damage onto this Celebi EX. Wow, this deck is so fun. So I really want to utilize Jynx because that's really what you came here for the video for, is to see how Jynx can just take over these Celebi decks. And we haven't gotten to that point yet. Mew is just putting in lots of work. So hopefully we can see a deck or a match that we're going to use the Jynx for a little bit better. And there we go. We get to see this come up here. They're going to flip. And I think I might just honestly retreat and smack into this thing. It's going to only be able to flip 4 times. And they need 3 out of the 4 flips to be heads. So let's see if they can actually pull this one off. They have had horrible luck thus far. Okay. So let's feed him. Who do we want to feed him? Do I want the Jynx? Yeah, let's just feed him the Jynx. You know what? They can't flip heads. They don't got it like that. So we'll go ahead and just let them flip into our Jynx. They do still need 2 heads. I think they can get it, but let's see. Okay, so there's 1, 2. Okay, now they're flipping heads. That's fine. We can put 2 more energy on our Mew. We can flip 6 times into Celebi. And then just go from there. Let's see. There's another turn that we get to Psy Shadow and attach. We're doing big things here over on our side. So we're going to go ahead and Pokeball. And we draw another Jynx. So I'm just thinking, do I meme? Do I style points this match here? And yeah, let's do it. Let's go in. Let's go ahead and then just attach and Psy Shadow, because now we can attack them with 30 plus everything. We're going to hit for 110 with Psychic. And at this point, if I were them, I would just straight up concede. But, you know, here we are. We're just going to go ahead and allow them to flip into our second Jynx. They can take 1 more point here. They're out of Sabrina's now. And they just concede. And that's the victory here. And we take that victory. All right, we're locked and loaded for this next match here. We're going to try to lay the Jynx on thick because that's really what our deck does here. We have a hand full of Pokemon and literally nothing else. So we're going to just pop the Jynx up into the active spot. Okay, so we're playing against a fighting deck. Finally, we hit something other than Celebi EX on the ladder. and we're going to see how this goes. I think that putting both Ralts down might be the play here, because we do have the one Kirlia and Gardevoir, and we do have a Mew EX that we just drew. So all of this is really, really good into a deck that is weak to Psychic Pokemon. So we're just going to plant both Ralts, and I'm going to put the Mew EX onto the field here too. Let's just go ahead and load up on this thing, because we can Psychic next turn. Even if they do try to smack into our Jynx, we're going to be able to hit them for weakness plus however many energy they're going to put on their Pokemon. So this is really good here. And again, we can evolve into Kirlia next turn, and then Gardevoir the following turn, and get Psyshadow online, and really just start to load up our other Pokemon. Now, we do need to rely on maybe switching in and out here, but we have to also see what our opponent's going to try to do. They're going to go ahead and Giovanni for plus 10 damage on Knuckle Punch from their Machop, doing 30 damage to our Jynx, and we keep drawing Pokemon, so we're still going to go ahead and evolve our Kirlia here. I'm going to add another energy onto our Jynx, and we're going to smack for 50 damage because of the weakness, and it's going to do 70, and that just knocks out their Pokemon. So let's see what we're doing here. We're going to go ahead and allow our opponent to bring up their Mankey, and they just concede. So that's Jynx. Let's do it. All right, we're going to load in on this game here and see if we can make Jynx really do the Jynxy thing here and just smack Psychic all over the board. We've got Mewtwo. Unfortunately, no Jynx in the hand. But hey, Mewtwo is a really good Pokemon, so we're just going to rock and roll here. We do have Pokeball and Professor of Research, and hitting another Celebi on the ladder. So we're going to use our tools here and go ahead and just research first, because we have more basic Pokemon in our deck that we want to draw into. We do get the Kirlia here, and let's go for Pokeball, see what we get. Hey, we get our Jynx, so that's pretty good. We can maybe even load it up on the back end. We have double X speed in hand, so we can always just retreat our Mewtwo, go right into the Jynx if they're loading up their Celebi, and that's exactly what they look like they're doing. They got the nice Snivy on the bench there. So we're gonna go ahead and think through our turns. How are we gonna get our Pokemon to beat their Pokemon? There's a Gardevoir. Again, we don't have any Ralts here. We're just gonna go ahead and load onto the Jynx and cross our fingers, I guess. I think that's the best that we can do right now. We're gonna go ahead here. We can see their Superior is probably the next one that they play down, but they're gonna flip some coins. You don't like to see that with the two heads. Powerful Boom hitting us for 100 damage, so now we're only at 50 HP, but we do have, a second Jynx, so that's pretty good too. Gonna go ahead here, and I think we're gonna do that play where we have the double X speed. Let's just Potion, just to give us a little bit more of a chance for this next turn, because they do have to flip, again, at least 2 heads to knock out our Mewtwo EX. So if they're loading more energy, what that means is they are also going to fall fatal to this Psychic, especially if they're going to knock us out. And there we go, we see the Superior. They're probably going to plant another energy on here. Oh, they choose not to do it. Okay, they're just going to try to flip twice. I mean, pretty good odds, to be honest. What? What? Four tails? That's wild. Okay, so we draw Sabrina. Okay, now I think this is the turn that we go for the double X speed. We're gonna just retreat. That's insane. Okay, so cool. We're gonna go ahead here. We're just gonna retreat into the Jynx. Hit him with Psychic. The downside here is that we will only have one more Jynx if this thing goes down, unless they just do something wild. There's their second Celebi. So again, they're being smart about their energy distribution over on their side. They hit the Potion, So it's not necessarily going to matter. We're still going to be able to Jynx. If we can draw into maybe our Gardevoir pieces, we could be in a really, really good spot here. But you know what? They're going to flip. I thought they were going to flip another Tails. But Powerful Bloom is going to knock us out. And right now, we're going to rely on some other things to come up in our hand out of our deck to get us to the place that we need to be. So here's our Mew, and Mew could be really, really good in following turns, but right now we just need to take this Psychic turn to knock out the Celebi EX, take our 2 points. They're still on the back foot where they're going to have to go through, a few of our single point Pokemon. And here comes the other Celebi EX. Obviously, with Superior in play, we know what Celebi does. They're going to be able to flip 4 times onto this Jynx, and after they do that, let's see. Okay, so Sabrina, we put up our Mew EX, and we're going to have to just block. Hopefully they have bad RNG again, and there's a Tails. Okay, a Tails. Oh, let's go! Okay, so we can't take a chance here. We don't have our pieces. I wish we had an X speed or something to get us there, but we're just gonna go ahead and Psychic for 110, and then next turn we can actually side shot to knock this thing out. If they don't have any potions, we just win the game here. So I think that that's really my strategy going forward, is to just hold on tight, let them flip some coins, and then just hit them with a side shot to end the game here. So doing this whole thing without any Gardevoir, you can see how effective Jynx actually is in this deck. Just being able to go in, you had to think there's decks like Charizard, there's obviously you have your Mewtwo decks, you have Pikachu decks that usually rely on energy, so you can tap them for enough damage to get through with some of your bigger EX Pokemon. So here we go, we're going to put up our Mew EX, and we don't have to use anything else in our hand because it's all bad, and we'll go ahead and attach it. And they see the writing on the wall. We get the victory with Jynx, and now we are all the way to our 25 wins on the Emblem Challenge, and we got to silver using this crazy, crazy deck. And I hope that you're enjoying some of the gameplay. I am trying to work a little bit harder to get the layout a little bit better for the viewership here on the channel. So hopefully you saw how my strategy in this deck works. You could take this deck and use it yourself. Maybe you see success like I'm seeing success. I'm just playing this game casually. I am a free-to-play player, so let me know down in the comments if you like this list or anything that you'd change about it. Let me know what other decks you want to see for the future as well. And I hope that you're really enjoying the channel here. If you are, make sure you're hitting the like button, subscribing to the channel, and also sharing this with your friends. That's definitely going to help me out make some more content. And I'm just doing this on the side. Honestly, I love TCG Pocket, and I'm a big TCG Pokemon player. So anything that deals with Pokemon, I love doing. And that's why it's important to me to know if you guys are enjoying my content too. So again, I'm PJ here with PJ's TCG Pocket. I'll catch you next time.